In the beginning of chapter 3, we're going to learn how to solve quadratic equations in different methods. I'm going to have 3 little videos showing each one of these methods: solving by graphing, solving using the square root method, and solving by factoring. The first one is solving by graphing. We're going to set the equation equal to 0, graph, and look for the x-intercepts. I'll give you an example, and then I'll have you try one. So for instance, here's my example: solve the quadratic by graphing. Here we go. The first thing I would do is to set this equal to 0 by subtracting x squared from both sides, adding x to both sides, and subtracting 7 to both sides. So you get this, right? So if I subtract x squared, I get 1x squared. If I add x, I get 3x. And if I subtract 7, I get minus 4. So I've set it equal to 0. I'm going to graph the companion equation to that. Instead of equal to 0, I'm just going to have y equal to that thing instead. So y equals x squared plus 3x minus 4, which is this handy dandy graph here. And I'd look for the y-intercept or the x-intercepts, which are negative 4 and 1. Simple as that. The reason why this works is because on the left side of the equation, we have an equation. We have this y equals 3x squared plus 3x minus 4. And the right side, we have y equals 0, which is the x-axis. We could actually do the first equation. We could graph this parabola here. We could graph this parabola here and see where they cross. Instead, you can always solve equations that way, graphing the left and right sides of the equation, setting them both equal to y, see where they cross, but sometimes it's a little bit messy. So we like to set them equal to 0 and see where they cross. So try this one, same type of problem. I'm going to give you, I'd like you to pause and figure out what the answers are. Pause. Okay, let's see what we got. So I set it equal to 0 and subtracted 3x from both sides. I subtracted 2 from both sides, and I got 2x squared plus 9x minus 5. So I set 2x squared plus 9x minus 5 equal to y and graphed it. I don't even have the whole parabola here. And I can see where it crosses the y-axis right here. And then notice I use the squiggly braces to show that I've got a solution set. So negative 5 and positive 0.5. So this is our first method of 3 to solve equations, solve quadratics using different methods. Using graphing, set it equal to 0, graph, and look for the x-intercepts.